The history of spirituality and mysticism is a vibrant tapestry woven with the lives of extraordinary individuals who dared to challenge the boundaries of the known world. These figures, prophets, sorcerers, philosophers, and occultists, pushed against the constraints of their time, seeking truths that transcended conventional wisdom. Their stories are not merely historical accounts, but epic narratives of rebellion, discovery, and the relentless pursuit of the divine. From Simon Magus, the sorcerer who clashed with the apostles, to Madame Helena Blavatsky, the founder of Theosophy, each figure in this chronicle has left an indelible mark on the spiritual and intellectual landscape of humanity. This exploration delves into the lives of Simon Magus, Apollonius of Tyana, Zoroaster, Eliphas Levi, John Dee, Meister Eckhart, Aleister Crowley, and Madame Helena Blavatsky. Visionaries whose legacies continue to inspire, provoke, and mystify. Simon Magus, the sorcerer who challenged the apostles. In the early days of Christianity, few figures were as enigmatic and polarizing as Simon Magus. Known in the Book of Acts as a powerful sorcerer in Samaria, Simon wielded abilities so astonishing that the people hailed him as the great power of God. His miracles, whether feats of genuine magic or clever illusions, captivated crowds, establishing him as a figure of divine authority. Yet, the arrival of the Apostle Philip, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, marked a turning point in Simon's story. Seemingly moved by Philip's message, Simon underwent baptism and began following the apostles, outwardly embracing the Christian faith. However, his true motives came to light when Peter and John arrived, performing the miracle of bestowing the Holy Spirit through the laying of hands. Mesmerized by this power, Simon's ambition led him astray. He offered the apostles money to acquire this divine gift, a brazen act that revealed his desire for control rather than spiritual enlightenment. Peter's rebuke was swift and severe. "May your money perish with you, because you thought you could buy the gift of God with money." Stricken with fear, Simon pleaded for forgiveness, but this moment branded him as a symbol of spiritual corruption, giving rise to the term simony, the sin of buying or selling sacred authority. The biblical narrative of Simon Magus ends abruptly, leaving his fate uncertain. However, Christian tradition paints a darker, more elaborate picture. Early church fathers, such as Justin Martyr and Hippolytus, accused Simon of founding Gnosticism, a heretical movement that preached secret knowledge and viewed the material world as corrupt. They claimed he declared himself divine, the incarnation of God in human form, positioning him as a direct challenge to Christian orthodoxy. The most dramatic tale of Simon Magus unfolds in Rome, under the patronage of Emperor Nero, a ruler infamous for his cruelty. According to the apocryphal Acts of Peter, Simon engaged in a supernatural showdown with the Apostle Peter, aiming to prove his divine power. In a breathtaking display, he levitated high above the Roman crowds, defying gravity and stunning onlookers. But Peter, through fervent prayer, called upon divine intervention, causing Simon to plummet to the earth, his body shattered and his life extinguished. This legendary battle became a powerful symbol of Christianity's triumph over pagan magic, cementing Simon's legacy as a cautionary tale of hubris and deception. Yet not all perspectives cast Simon as a villain. In esoteric and occult traditions, he is reimagined as a misunderstood mystic, a seeker of hidden wisdom suppressed by the early church. This duality, heretic or visionary, makes Simon Magus a figure of enduring fascination, his story a reflection of the fine line between heresy and enlightenment. Apollonius of Tyana, the miracle worker who rivaled Christ in the first century as Christianity began to spread, another figure emerged whose life bore striking similarities to Jesus Christ. Apollonius of Tyana, a philosopher, mystic, and miracle worker. Apollonius was a contemporary of Jesus, and his followers believed he possessed divine powers that rivaled those of the Christian Messiah. Some hailed him as the true Son of God, while others dismissed him as a charlatan or sorcerer. His life, chronicled by the 3rd century writer Philostratus, is a captivating blend of mysticism, adventure, and controversy. Born in Tyana, in modern-day Turkey, Apollonius was a child prodigy whose intellect shone brightly from an early age. Drawn to Pythagorean philosophy, he embraced its ascetic principles: a vegetarian diet, celibacy, and non-violence. Unlike the sedentary philosophers of his time, Apollonius was a wanderer, driven by a thirst for divine knowledge. His journeys took him across Greece, Egypt, Mesopotamia, and reportedly as far as India, where he studied under Brahmin sages and ascetics, absorbing the spiritual traditions of the East. Apollonius's fame rested on his miraculous feats. Legends tell of his ability to heal the sick, exorcise demons, predict the future, and even raise the dead. In one celebrated tale, he entered the city of Ephesus during a plague and identified a demon-possessed beggar as the source of the affliction. With a command, he expelled the demon, and the plague vanished. In another account, he revived a young girl by whispering in her ear, leaving witnesses in awe. These acts earned him reverence as a holy man, but they also drew accusations of forbidden magic. Apollonius was not only a mystic, but also a bold critic of authority. He openly denounced Roman emperors like Nero and Domitian for their tyranny, a defiance that led to his arrest under Domitian on charges of sorcery and conspiracy. Yet, in a moment that has become legendary, Apollonius vanished from the courtroom during his trial, leaving his accusers stunned. His followers believed he ascended to heaven after his death, appearing in visions to guide his disciples. To early Christians, Apollonius was a troubling figure. His miracles and divine claims mirrored those of Jesus, leading some to accuse him of being a deliberate rival, a sorcerer sent to deceive. Yet, his admirers saw him as a sage whose teachings transcended religious boundaries, blending Greek philosophy with Eastern mysticism. Apollonius's life challenges us to question the nature of divinity and the boundaries between miracle and magic, leaving a legacy that is as divisive as it is enduring. Zoroaster, the prophet of light and truth in the mists of antiquity, long before the rise of Christianity, a visionary prophet named Zoroaster, or Zarathustra, emerged from the heart of ancient Persia to ignite a spiritual revolution. Believed to have lived between 1500 BCE and 600 BCE, though scholars debate the precise timeline, Zoroaster founded Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. His teachings, steeped in divine revelation, reshaped Persian spirituality and cast a profound influence on Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Shrouded in mystery, Zoroaster's life is a captivating saga of divine encounter, relentless struggle, and an enduring quest for cosmic truth that continues to resonate across millennia. Born into a priestly family in eastern Persia, in what is now modern-day Iran or Afghanistan, Zoroaster was immersed in the rituals and traditions of the Indo-Iranian religion from an early age. Surrounded by a polytheistic world of myriad gods and complex ceremonies, he grew up steeped in spiritual practices that shaped his early understanding of the divine. Yet, it was at the age of 30 that his life took a transformative turn. In a moment of profound revelation, Zoroaster experienced a divine vision in which Ahura Mazda, the supreme god of light, wisdom, and truth, unveiled the cosmic order of the universe. This encounter was not merely a spiritual awakening, but a clarion call to reform the religious landscape of his time. Driven by this divine mandate, Zoroaster embarked on a bold mission to challenge the polytheistic traditions that dominated Persian society. He preached the worship of one supreme deity, Ahura Mazda, whose radiance stood in opposition to the chaos of lesser gods. His teachings were radical, shaking the foundations of the religious elite who clung to their ancient rituals. In power, Zoroaster faced fierce opposition, his message met with skepticism and hostility. For years, he wandered, a lone voice in a resistant world, struggling to find followers who would embrace his vision of a singular, benevolent deity. His perseverance paid off when King Vishtaspa, a powerful ruler, was captivated by Zoroaster's teachings. With royal patronage, Zoroastrianism spread like wildfire across Persia, transforming it into a spiritual beacon that would endure for centuries. At the heart of Zoroaster's philosophy was a dualistic worldview that framed existence as a cosmic battle between Ahura Mazda, the embodiment of light and truth, and Angra Mainyu, the malevolent spirit of darkness and deception. This struggle was not merely celestial, but deeply personal, as Zoroaster emphasized the power of human free will. He urged individuals to choose the path of righteousness through three timeless principles: good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. These tenets became the moral cornerstone of Zoroastrianism, guiding adherents to live lives of integrity and purpose. Zoroaster also introduced the revolutionary concept of a final judgment, where souls would be weighed based on their earthly actions, destined for heaven or hell. Yet his vision was one of ultimate hope, promising that good would triumph over evil in a cosmic renewal that would restore harmony to the universe. Zoroaster's influence transcended the borders of Persia, leaving an indelible mark on global spirituality. Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle marveled at his teachings, finding in them a profound synthesis of ethics and metaphysics. Centuries later, Friedrich Nietzsche reimagined Zoroaster in his philosophical masterpiece. Thus spoke Zarathustra, casting him as a symbol of human potential and existential exploration. Zoroaster's ideas also seeped into the foundations of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, particularly through concepts like divine judgment and the battle between good and evil. His dualistic framework and emphasis on moral choice became threads woven into the fabric of Western religious thought. Today, Zoroaster stands as a towering figure of moral clarity and spiritual innovation. His teachings, preserved in the sacred texts of the Avesta, continue to inspire millions, particularly among the Parsi communities who uphold Zoroastrianism's ancient traditions. His legacy is a testament to the power of a single visionary to challenge the status quo and illuminate the path to truth. Zoroaster's life reminds us that the pursuit of the divine is not a passive endeavor, but a courageous journey, one that demands resilience, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to the light. In a world often shadowed by doubt and division, Zoroaster's message of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds remains a timeless guide, urging humanity to rise above darkness and embrace the eternal triumph of truth. Eliphas Levi, the architect of modern occultism, in the vibrant intellectual ferment of 19th century France, a visionary named Eliphas Levi, born Alphonse Louis Constant in 1810, emerged as a towering figure in Western occultism. With a mind that danced between the mystical and the rational, Levi wove together threads of Christian mysticism, Jewish Kabbalah, alchemy, and ancient magical traditions, crafting a tapestry that would shape modern esoteric movements like Theosophy, Hermeticism, and ceremonial magic. A magician, philosopher, and spiritual pioneer, Levi's ideas continue to ignite the imaginations of those who seek to unravel the universe's hidden mysteries. Levi's early life was steeped in the rigid doctrines of Catholicism as he trained for the priesthood, immersing himself in theology and philosophy. Yet his restless intellect could not be confined by orthodoxy. Drawn to the revolutionary currents of his time, Levi was initially captivated by socialist and utopian ideals, penning fiery critiques of religion and society that challenged the status quo. These early writings revealed a man unafraid to question authority, but it was his pivot to esoteric studies that would define his legacy. Abandoning political activism, Levi plunged into the depths of mysticism, seeking to uncover the unseen forces that govern existence. His seminal work, Dogma and Ritual of High Magic, published in 1854, became a cornerstone of modern occultism. In its pages, Levi presented magic not as superstition, but as a spiritual science, grounded in divine principles and accessible through disciplined practice. He introduced the concept of the astral light, a universal energy field that connects all things, a revolutionary idea that prefigured later esoteric theories like the Akashic Records and the concept of spiritual energy in theosophy. Levi's genius lay in his ability to synthesize diverse traditions, Jewish Kabbalah, tarot symbolism, and alchemical wisdom, into a cohesive framework that invited seekers to explore the universe's hidden dimensions. His work inspired luminaries like Aleister Crowley and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, cementing his influence on the esoteric revival of the 19th and 20th centuries. Levi's most controversial contribution was his depiction of Baphomet, a goat-headed figure with male and female characteristics pointing both to the heavens and the earth. Far from a symbol of evil, Levi intended Baphomet to embody the duality of existence, light and dark, male and female, spirit and matter, representing balance, wisdom, and the divine mysteries. Yet later misinterpretations linked Baphomet to satanic worship, fueling conspiracy theories and pop culture's fascination with the occult. This misunderstanding only amplified Levi's mystique as his work became both revered and reviled. Eliphas Levi's legacy endures as a beacon for spiritual explorers. His writings, blending intellectual rigor with mystical insight, invite us to look beyond the mundane and embrace the unseen forces that shape our world. Though often misunderstood, Levi remains a cornerstone of modern occultism. His vision of magic as a path to divine truth, inspiring generations to seek the light within the shadows. John Dee, the Renaissance magician in the vibrant tapestry of the Renaissance, John Dee, 1527 to 1609, stands as a luminous thread, weaving together the realms of science and mysticism in a way that shaped England's intellectual and maritime destiny. A polymath of unparalleled brilliance, Dee was a mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, alchemist, and magician whose contributions to navigation, cryptography, and Hermetic philosophy were nothing short of revolutionary. Yet it was his audacious quest to commune with celestial beings that rendered him both a visionary and a controversial figure, his life a testament to the era's boundless curiosity and the perilous allure of the unknown. Born in London, Dee's prodigious intellect shone brightly from a young age. At Cambridge University, he mastered mathematics and astronomy, earning a reputation as a scholar of extraordinary promise. His thirst for knowledge led him across Europe, where he studied under luminaries like Gerardus Mercator, the renowned cartographer. Dee's expertise in cartography and navigation proved instrumental in England's maritime expansion, laying the groundwork for its global ambitions. Some historians even credit him with coining the term British Empire, a bold vision of England's destiny. As a trusted advisor to Queen Elizabeth II, Dee wielded his astrological acumen to select the most auspicious date for her coronation in 1558, cementing his influence at court. His counsel on optics, cryptography, and national security made him an indispensable asset, a sage whose intellect fortified England's ascent. Yet Dee's heart was captivated by a deeper calling, the pursuit of divine truths hidden beyond the veil of the material world. He believed mathematics was a sacred language, a key to unlocking communion with higher beings. In 1581, his life took a fateful turn when he met Edward Kelly, a charismatic medium who claimed to receive messages from angels through a crystal ball. Together, they embarked on an extraordinary journey, conducting intense spirit communication, sessions that birthed Enochian magic, a system purported to be the language of the angels themselves. Dee's meticulous records of these visions, filled with cryptic symbols and celestial dialogues, became foundational texts for Western occult traditions, their enigmatic allure enduring through the centuries. In the 1580s, Dee and Kelly traversed Europe, presenting their mystical discoveries to nobles, emperors, and alchemists seeking patronage for their divine revelations. Their partnership, however, unraveled when Kelly claimed the angels commanded them to share their wives, a directive that strained Dee's trust and led to their eventual parting. Returning to England in 1589, Dee found his influence at court diminished under King James I, who viewed the occult with suspicion. Dee's once celebrated mysticism was branded heretical. He spent his final years in poverty and obscurity, dying in 1609, a forgotten scholar in the world he once sought to enlighten. Yet, Dee's legacy transcends his earthly struggles. His Enochian system, with its intricate alphabet and mystical framework, inspired the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and Aleister Crowley's Thelema, shaping modern occultism. John Dee remains a symbol of the Renaissance spirit, bold, curious, and unafraid to bridge the earthly and the divine, his life a testament to the enduring power of human ambition to touch the stars. Meister Eckhart, the mystic of divine unity in the heart of the 14th century, amidst the rigid doctrines of medieval Europe, Meister Eckhart emerged as a beacon of spiritual revolution. A German Dominican theologian, philosopher, and mystic, Eckhart's profound vision of divine unity transcended the boundaries of conventional religion, offering a pathway to God that was as intimate as it was radical. His teachings, centered on the soul's direct connection with the divine through inner contemplation and detachment, or Gelassenheit, challenged the Church's monopoly on spirituality, igniting a legacy that continues to inspire seekers across centuries and traditions. Born around 1260 in the region of Thuringia, Eckhart entered the Dominican order, where his intellectual brilliance and spiritual depth quickly distinguished him. As a scholar and preacher, he wove together theology and mysticism, delivering sermons that were both poetic and philosophical, resonating with a profound sense of the divine presence within every human being. Eckhart believed that God was not a distant judgmental figure confined to ecclesiastical rituals, but an ever-present reality, accessible to all through the quiet depths of the soul. His concept of Gelassenheit, or letting go, urged individuals to release worldly attachments and ego, creating space for a transformative encounter with the divine. This vision was revolutionary, suggesting that true spirituality required no intermediary, only a heart open to the infinite. Eckhart's sermons, delivered in the vernacular to reach both scholars and laypeople, were electrifying. He spoke of the spark within the soul, a divine essence that united humanity with God, transcending the dogmas of the Church. His teachings emphasized inner contemplation over external rites, proposing that through silence and surrender, one could experience God directly as a living presence rather than a theological abstraction. Such ideas were both liberating and dangerous as they challenged the Church's authority to mediate salvation. Eckhart's bold assertions that God was closer to the soul than the soul was to itself captivated audiences but drew the ire of the religious establishment. In 1326, Pope John XXIII accused Eckhart of heresy, claiming his teachings undermined orthodox doctrine. Eckhart defended his ideas, insisting they aligned with Christian truth, but he died around 1328 before his trial could conclude. Despite this controversy, his writings and sermons survived, influencing Christian mysticism, Sufism, and modern spiritual thought. Figures like Johannes Tauler and Henry Suso carried his legacy forward, while his ideas resonated with later mystics, from the Sufi poets of the East to 20th century thinkers like Thomas Merton. Eckhart's vision of divine unity, where God and the soul merge in a sacred dance, remains a timeless invitation to explore the depths of existence. Today, Meister Eckhart is celebrated as one of the greatest Christian mystics. His words, a clarion call to transcend dogma and embrace the divine within. His teachings, both poetic and profound, continue to inspire those who seek a spirituality that is personal, transformative, and unbound by tradition. In a world often divided by creed, Eckhart's message of unity offers a luminous path, reminding us that the divine is not distant, but dwells within the heart of every seeker. Aleister Crowley, the prophet of Thelema in the turbulent dawn of the 20th century, Aleister Crowley, 1875 to 1947, emerged as a figure both revered and reviled, a British occultist and ceremonial magician whose audacious life redefined the boundaries of spirituality. Known as the founder of Thelema, a spiritual philosophy encapsulated by the maxim, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," Crowley was a visionary who dared to challenge the conventions of his time. His journey, marked by rebellion, mysticism, and unrelenting pursuit of esoteric truth, left an indelible mark on modern occultism, Wicca, Satanism, and pop culture, cementing his legacy as a prophet of spiritual revolution. Born into a strict Christian fundamentalist family in Warwickshire, England, Crowley's early life was steeped in religious rigidity. Yet his fiercely independent spirit recoiled against dogma, leading him to reject Christianity and plunge into the arcane worlds of Western esotericism, alchemy, and Kabbalah. As a young man, he joined the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a secret society dedicated to ceremonial magic. There, he honed his skills in ritual and mysticism, but his bold personality and unorthodox views clashed with the order's leadership, resulting in his expulsion. Undeterred, Crowley forged his own path, determined to uncover the hidden truths of the universe through his own audacious methods. The pivotal moment in Crowley's life came in 1904 in Cairo, where he claimed to receive the Book of the Law, a channeled text dictated by a supernatural entity named Aiwass. This enigmatic work became the cornerstone of Thelema, a philosophy that championed individual will as the guiding force of existence. Thelema was not a call to hedonism, but a profound assertion that each person's true purpose, their true will, aligned with the cosmic order. Crowley's teachings urged followers to discover their authentic selves, free from societal constraints, a message that resonated deeply with those seeking liberation from rigid norms. Crowley's life was as provocative as his philosophy. His experiments with occult rituals, drug use, and sexual practices scandalized society, earning him the infamous title of the wickedest man in the world from the British press. In 1920, he founded the Abbey of Thelema in Cefalù, Sicily, a commune where he and his followers explored mystical and magical practices. The Abbey's unorthodox activities, blending ritual, art, and free expression, drew both fascination and condemnation, further fueling Crowley's notoriety. Yet beneath the scandal, his work was driven by a relentless quest for spiritual enlightenment, blending Eastern mysticism, yoga, and Western occult traditions. Despite his controversial reputation, Crowley's influence is undeniable. His writings inspired the modern Wicca movement, shaped the practices of contemporary occultism, and even left a mark on pop culture, from music to literature. Whether viewed as a prophet, a madman, or a charlatan, Crowley's legacy endures as a testament to the power of fearless individuality. His life challenges us to question authority, embrace our inner truth, and explore the mysteries of existence with unyielding courage. Madame Helena Blavatsky, the founder of Theosophy, in the vibrant crucible of the 19th century, Madame Helena Blavatsky, 1831-1891, emerged as a trailblazing Russian occultist and mystic whose audacious vision reshaped the spiritual landscape. As the founder of the Theosophical Society, Blavatsky wove together Eastern and Western mystical traditions, crafting a revolutionary philosophy that invited seekers to transcend the confines of dogmatic religion. Her life, a whirlwind of adventure, controversy, and enlightenment, remains a beacon for those daring to explore the unseen realms of existence. Born into a noble Russian family, Blavatsky's fascination with the supernatural sparked early, setting her on a path of relentless exploration. Her insatiable curiosity led her across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, where she claimed to study under enigmatic spiritual masters she called the Mahatmas, or hidden masters. These elusive teachers, she asserted, were guardians of ancient wisdom, guiding her through the mysteries of karma, reincarnation, and the soul's evolution. Her alleged journeys to India and Tibet immersed her in Hindu and Buddhist teachings, enriching her understanding of the interconnectedness of all life and the hidden forces that shape the cosmos. In 1875, Blavatsky co-founded the Theosophical Society in New York alongside Henry Steele Olcott and William Quan Judge, igniting a movement that would reverberate worldwide. The Society's mission was threefold: to foster universal brotherhood, to explore comparative religion, science, and philosophy, and to investigate the unseen spiritual forces within nature and humanity. Blavatsky believed all religions sprang from a shared wellspring of primordial wisdom, lost over time, but recoverable through spiritual awakening. Her seminal works, Isis Unveiled and The Secret Doctrine, challenged the rigid structures of organized religion and materialist science, introducing provocative concepts like root races, spiritual cycles of human evolution. These ideas, though controversial and criticized for their complexity, captivated a global audience, sparking a renaissance of esoteric thought. Blavatsky's charisma was magnetic, but her life was not without controversy. Critics accused her of fraud and plagiarism, with the 1885 Society for Psychical Research investigation branding her a hoaxer. Yet, her unshakable conviction and compelling teachings ensured Theosophy's growth, attracting followers across India, Europe, and the United States. Her influence permeated Western occultism, New Age spirituality, and modern paganism, leaving a lasting imprint on esoteric Freemasonry and magical traditions. Madame Blavatsky's legacy is a paradox of inspiration and contention. Her work bridged science, philosophy, and mysticism, daring generations to look beyond the mundane and embrace the mysteries of existence. Like other mystics and magicians, Simon Magus, Apollonius, Zoroaster, Levi, Dee, Eckhart, and Crowley, Blavatsky reminds us that the pursuit of truth is a bold, often divisive journey, challenging the boundaries of the human spirit and inviting us to explore the infinite possibilities of the soul. What did you think about today's video? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your mind or helped you see reality in a new light, don't forget to like and subscribe to Top Hidden Knowledge so you never miss our next deep dive into mystery, perception, and the hidden workings of our universe. And if you have time, explore more videos on our channel. We're just getting started. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and never stop questioning the world around you.